I see a lot of people are still bearish right now, but I want to tell you that Bitcoin doesn't move in a straight line as probably most of you think. It moves in cycles. And if I show you this chart, you would see that we have expansion years where capital floods in, we have reset years where leverage gets wiped out, we have digestive years where the market builds a base and then renewed upside as the cycle matures. So when you view this chart through the lens, the data lines up extremely cleanly. If we go back to 2021, we had 59% increase. We had bullish positive momentum already maturing. This is where upside still exists, but risk rises as we come towards an end of a cycle. 2022 was a bear market. We had minus 65%, full deleveraging, macro reset, rate hikes, liquidity withdrawal, forced selling, and this is structural damage, not just volatility. That was in 2022. 2023, 154%. Classic bear market, post-bear market recovery. Capitulation already happened in 2022 and liquidity returns. Smart money re-enters first. This is the off the lows phase. Then 2024, 111%. That's the continuation year, broader participation, ETFs, narratives, renewed risk appetite, momentum accelerates. This is where the cycle becomes obvious. In 2025, which we just went through, I would call this probably a digestion year, not a collapse. We went sideways, we saw volatility compression, we saw weak hands exiting, strong hands accumulating. And I would say this is what reaccumulation and sort of reset actually looks like. And 2026 so far, we are 5% up. There is still no euphoria, no panic. This is where structure is being built slowly. And I would say this is where long-term positioning happens. And why this is important? Because people are thinking, oh, if price isn't exploding, if I'm not 50%, 100% up, the cycle is over. But historically, the biggest moves come after this reset, which we saw last year. Never during an euphoria, never during bull phase. And at the same time, right now, if you look at it, still there is a lot of disbelievers. Retail is heavily positioned on the short side of Bitcoin right now. If you look at it, this is the liquidation data, which is very one-sided. And if we have a $10,000 move up, this would wipe around 6,000 Bitcoin worth of retail shorts. If we look on the other side, $10,000 drop, on the other hand, would only liquidate around 2,000 Bitcoins of retail longs. So most traders are positioned for rejection right now, and that is pure disbelief. What I personally expect is us breaking above the 95k level for Bitcoin and then moving to the 100k level, after which we're gonna see some pullback. But you know, when everyone leans short, price usually goes higher. I personally see us going higher at the 95, breaking above it and moving to the 100k level. And on the next pullback, I can recommend 5 altcoins that I'm most bullish on and that I hold for 2026. I'll start with my favorite, that's SUI, which is actually the first trending project if you look at on CoinMarketCap and the highest increase on the daily chart. I personally bought SUI and my Discord when it was at 40, 60, 80 cents. These were our accumulation prices. And by the way, if you want to catch projects early, feel free to join Discord. This is where you would see all the trading alerts available over there. But SUI was probably one of my most successful picks. We bought it at 40, 50, 60 cents and we ride up to $5 last year, December and January. And now we are still in the game. So SUI is a next generation layer 1 built by former Meta engineers using Move programming language and designed around one core idea: massive scalable execution without sacrificing security. And unlike traditional blockchains that process transactions sequentially, SUI allows parallel execution, which dramatically increases the throughput and reduces latency, which is essential for decentralized finance, payments, gaming, and all other consumer applications. But what really matters is what is coming up for SUI next. I don't know if you're following the projects, and if you want to look at projects that I researched that I think would be worth researching and holding, those are also available on Discord together with all the updates for projects that we hold. And the update that is coming up for SUI in 2026 focus is native privacy at the protocol level. SUI has publicly announced that privacy is a top priority heading into 2026, not privacy as an add-on, not optional privacy pools, but privacy embedded directly into the layer 1 protocol. And the goal is to achieve transactions where amounts and participants are hidden by default, while still allowing the network to validate correctness and enabling selective disclosure when required to compliance, which is huge because Fully transparent blockchains are a non-starter for enterprises. No company wants competitors tracking payrolls, tracking suppliers, treasury movements on a public explorer. And SUI is positioning itself as a confidential settlement layer that still plays nicely with the regulations and scales for real world usage. So if SUI delivers this, which I'm sure it would, it moves from just another layer 1 to enterprise grade financial infrastructure, which is very bullish. And we can see the accumulation that is happening right now for SUI. It's massive. It's one of the layer ones that has the biggest increase, and it's a project that I've been telling you that it was one of the best performing projects in 2024, and for now 2026 I think it would be the project that would outperform all the other layer ones. And something that is closely linked to SUI but much smaller market cap is DBook. DBook is core liquidity engine of the SUI ecosystem. It's not just another liquidity provider, it's a fully on-chain central limit order book which enables tight spreads through price discovery, institutional style trading mechanisms. As SUI's ecosystem grows, all serious financial activity will go through the book protocol. Decentralized finance protocols, perpetuals, structured products, market makers, and we've already seen a lot of expansions of listings and access institutional exposure products launched on the book, increased volume concentrations through the book protocol, and this is a classic infrastructure compounding play. You'll be owning the core that everyone would need to use as SUI expands, and it's much smaller market cap with a lot of potential. And you can see as SUI is exploding right now, this project is also skyrocketing very quickly following SUI's steps. And if you're on Discord, you would have seen that lately I've been accumulating SEI. I have high conviction in this project, and I think it is the most mispriced asset on the list that I actually hold. SEI is a high-performance layer 1, purpose-built for trading, settlement, and financial applications. But unlike most chains that talk about institutions, SEI already has them. Real institutional capital on SEI. And it is already processing over 200 million in assets from BlackRock, Apollo, Hamilton Lane, and this is happening through regulated tokenized funds, not experiments. Apollo alone manages roughly $800 billion. They launched a $1.2 billion tokenized private credit fund. They have one of the most compliant tokenization platform in the world that work directly with major asset managers and regulators. This is not retail decentralized finance. This is tokenized traditional finance. What is insane here is that SEI trades only at below $850 million market cap. Meanwhile, if we compare it to Avalanche, which trades at $6.4 billion market cap, and it is hosting less institutional tokenized capital compared to SEI. And I can tell you that there is a lot of repricing here, and the market would not reprice this slowly. It will reprice it very violently, and SEI will become a backbone for tokenized credit, a settlement layer for real-world assets, a bridge between traditional finance and crypto. This is what early institutional adoption looks like, and as I said, I see SEI skyrocketing pretty quickly in no time, pushed by institutional adoption. You might not realize it, but if you buy SEI at these prices below 15 cents, it's so cheap. I can tell you that you can easily make 5 to 10x on this project in early 2026. I can see already the accumulation, we can see the data on chain. There is a lot of things happening for SEI, and it is still very underpriced. Then we've got Caspa. One of my biggest backs is Caspa, proof of work, but fundamentally different from Bitcoin. It uses block DAC architecture, which allows multiple blocks to be executed at once, extremely fast confirmation times. If you try to move Caspa from one exchange to another simply, you would see how quickly this is compared to other layer ones. And we have high throughput without centralization. And this project, different to SEI, different to SUI, different to Solana, and all the other layer ones, it was fair launch. There is no ventures allocation, no early investors, no insiders advantage. And development is ongoing with a lot of upgrades focused on faster finality and smart contracts execution. I would say Caspa is the best technology that exists in crypto right now, and it is the next generation proof of work that actually scales. In a future where decentralization matter, Caspa will stand out, and I'm holding this project for longer term, not for the short term, not for 2026 only, but beyond that as well. And then at the end, I would share one exclusive pick which we accumulated on Discord. Probably one of the last new picks that we added is Research Coin. This is my small market cap gem. And the reason for adding this project is because it is tied to decentralized science, which is a new narrative slowly emerging and potentially becoming something hot in 2026. It powers incentives for research contributions, peer review, knowledge creation. It is deeply integrated with Research Hub, a platform that gained early backing and involvement from people like Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, which for me is a big thing. We can see that recent developments for a research coin is that public companies are adding research coin to their treasury. We see increased visibility and exchange access, and we see growing attention to decentralized science as a long-term narrative that is positioning in the market. As you know, science is a multi-million-dollar industry, and it still runs on broken incentive systems and in a broken, old-fashioned way. Even if a small portion of research funding and reputation moves on chain, research coin will become extremely interesting. It is high risk play because it's a micro cap, very small market cap, but this can outsize the upside potential. And as you can see, it's already listed on major exchanges like Coinbase. You've got Kraken and Tier 2 exchanges, and that's only because this project is backed up by big players in the crypto space, and it is linked to Coinbase as well. There is a lot of projects out there. You should choose whatever you have most conviction in, whatever you've researched, whatever you believe in. And of course, something like as a general rule is look for real usage. That comes before price, and real capital comes before headlines. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.